Shanti Shanti.
So this considered the Adhararani to be our being, our mind, intelligence, body complex. And Uttararani is our sadhana. You can consider it to be the Om or the mantra we are doing. With that we have to rub the Adhararani. And by that the fire of consciousness that is within us, which is not visible generally, which is hiding within, that will blaze forth. And with that we will light the Homakunda. These examples are also given. The indication, hint is always towards our sadhana, because the whole purpose of the scriptures, whatever scriptures are written, it is to take the seekers to their ultimate goal. There is no other purpose. Otherwise it is, the goal is the same. And why so much of writing is there? It is only to help us to reach that, not to become a Pandit by reading all the Upanishads, all the other scriptures, everything, and becoming a very complete treasure of knowledge. It is not like that. So, this, when we are doing the sadhana with the mantra, finally the mantra manifests its power. That is why it says that etad alambanam jnatva brahmaloke mahiyate. We attain the Brahma. Brahmaloka is figurative expression. We attain the Brahman when we finally know the mantra. Now this mantra, we call it lakshyartha. Lakshyartha means whatever it is aiming at. That is the ultimate, in all Upanishadic mantra, the ultimate, the lakshyartha is, as I said, Brahmatmaikatva bodha. Brahma, Atma, Ekatva bodha. That means realizing that whatever I am considering to be the I in me, the identity in me, that is nothing different from Brahman, which is the source of the universe, or the substratum of the entire universe, where the whole creation is appearing to be. The two are not different, they are the same. Now this is the lakshyartha for any Upanishadic mantra or any Jnana mantra, that it has to take us to that level. Now we will not know what does this Brahmatmaikatva bodha mean. So when Om is given or the mantra is given, which means this ultimate destination or this lakshyartha, the ultimate goal, it represents that. But we don't know. When we start practicing, we don't know. The Guru knows what is that ultimate goal. He has realized the goal and he has understood, so he knows. When he is giving the Shishya that mantra or the power, his intention is to take the Shishya also to that final goal. But the Shishya doesn't know at that time what is the goal to be attained. So he starts with the full faith and full refuge in that mantra, and he goes on practicing his sadhana, and by practicing, the mantra becomes powerful more and more. It becomes Chetana, it becomes the mantra starts radiating its consciousness, and finally it takes its full form, then it becomes realized. That is why they said etad alambanam jnatva. When we know that what is this alambana we have been taking up, maybe 20 years, 30 years, or maybe 1 year or 1 month, whatever alambana I have been holding on to, refuge I have been holding on to, what it is, when we come to know, then the goal is attained, because that goal it represents. Now, those who are not doing vichara, not pursuing the knowledge path also, for them also this Om is an extremely powerful mantra. That is why it has become so, everywhere we find with all the mantras, in Tantra Shastra also, everywhere we find this as the Bija mantra. In all the Yajna, Puja, everywhere it starts with this Om. Because the very sound of it also can be taken for taking us to the ultimate goal. Now, whatever the Srishti has come, in which we are caught in this multifarious, variegated world we are always seeing, this world is appearing on the one single consciousness. When we say one single, we mean transcendental, because it is not objective one. So it is the transcendental consciousness. The whole thing is manifest in that. Now, to understand what our real identity is, or what the ultimate truth is, we have to get back to this consciousness which is one and transcendental. Now for that, what we do, we start from where we are and we walk back. Now this Om chanting, it gives us a path to go back and reach that source from where this creation has come. It is starting with Om, then it is going inside. And finally this Om, as I said the previous day, A-U-M, that is A-U-M. These are the three letters. And then there is another no letter, which is the transcendental, which is the Bindu Nada we say, or Nada Bindu we say. That represents the Turiya. We have explained the other day, we will repeat again. Now, when we are chanting, say, see, I started with full open mouth, the voice coming, then it rolls into the oo, then it became The whole sound is from inside, it is not a manifest thing. Through that, the sound went down to silence. Now, this silence is a potent, it is not just a silence. It is extremely potent silence, because what is happening to my focus when I am meditating on the Om, my dhyana, my consciousness is focusing first on the Om. Then finally that strain of the sound, it just simply vanishes into silence. Now I am still there. My focus, my consciousness, the revealing power in me, my eye, is still watching that. It is focused on the Aum, the whole sound. Then finally when that sound slowly merges into silence, you are left with the consciousness alone. That because you have forgotten everything. If you are doing a meditation, if you are doing it properly, then when your focus is on the Om, you have forgotten everything else. Now this Om, by that chanting or meditation, your mind has become one-pointed towards this Om, which is the mantra given. All other things are forgotten. Now that mantra is slowly taking your consciousness to the sound comes down in a very graduated manner. Then finally it vanishes into silence. Now it is not just silence. When the sound is not there, you are still attentive. You are conscious, you have not slept off. The sound has gone, but you have not slept off. You are still attentive. And that attention reveals your Atma. Why? Because it is not manifesting anything. As I said the other day also, when we are looking at the book is revealed by my consciousness. But because our focus is on the book, we miss the consciousness. When I am looking into my mind, there is a good thought, bad thought. Those thoughts are also revealed by the consciousness. But our focus is on the thought, so we miss the consciousness. Now, when we are taking it like that, the mind, the focus is one-pointed, and then finally where it is pointed, that point also is dropped, then the consciousness gets a release. It is not getting engaged by any objective, through the revelation of any objective element. It is neither revealing any external object, it is nor revealing any internal thought or vritti. No concept, nothing. It is not revealing anything, so to say. So it reveals itself at that point. This is the great secret of sadhana. So if we practice Om, it has such a sound that it will take our mind to that silence. It is not a silence really. It is the Sukshma Nada, the Sukshma Nada Bindu finally, where the Atma reveals itself. This is a great truth which our rishis had discovered, and that is why you will find the entire Indian culture, whether it is music, dance, art, drawing, literature, everywhere this has formed the basis. How? Because everywhere all the Indian classical music instruments or music instruments, you will find the great importance is given to the nada. Nada means the uniform sound. That is not the Sukshma Nada, it is Sukshma Nada becoming Sthula. Just like Om, there is a drone sound underneath always. Over that, all the kala, all other variations, modifications they are building. But always they are nada pradhana. Suppose our mridangam, if you hear it from a distance, that sound that creates the nada. Even in Buddhist monasteries, if you hear the gong, that gong is one of the most important part of our spiritual culture. Because when you are hitting the gong, initially you are hitting gong, gong, gong. Now there is variation, the focus is there. But you leave that, you hit it and then stop. The sound continues for a long time. If it's a very good bell, suppose it is very well done, the very good bells are sometimes available in Tibet and other places. You will find Buddhist bells are very good, gongs also. It has to have a very pure frequency. The structure has to be pure, uniform. It should not give rise to disturbing sound, disturbing frequencies at all. It should hit, when we are hitting, the sound should continue for minutes together. So when you hit that bell, you will find that the sound continues. So when you hear even the shankha, we use in all puja, all our even social like marriage and other programs, everywhere shankha is used. Because what it is just like the om, the gong, the shankha, even our musical instruments, they always have this underlying substratum of the uniform sound called nada. It is nada pradhana. There is great significance in it. These sounds will always take our mind to our own real identity. It will help us. Even if we don't go to the ultimate level, it will make our mind free of stress, free of all kinds of disturbances, free of all stray desires and whatnot. The mind will get back to its own support, own anchor, our own Atma. That support will get. It may not discover the Atma immediately, but it will definitely such sound. That is why people like it. When they go to such programs where this kind of nada sound is there, or any upasana, or where the prayers are going on. Why do they like? Because it is all, the sound is nada pradhana. It is taking us to our own within and getting us anchored in our real identity. It is taking us close to that. So this Om is a very powerful alambana or refuge or support for meditation. We can meditate with its sound and get to that Atma level through this. This is one aspect of it. The other aspect in Jnana sadhana, there Om is a symbol of this Brahma Vidya. It represents Brahma Vidya. That means whatever is spoken of in the Upanishads, it is the truth. That is what I said, Kathopanishad. First shloka, Yamaraja, when he started giving the Upadesha to Nachiketa, the first shloka was Sarve Veda Yat Padama Mananti Tapamsi Sarvani Cha Yadvadanti Yadichanto Brahmacharyam Charanti Tatte Padam Sangrahena Bravimi Om Ityetad. There he is saying that what all the Vedas have discussed, for which all the tapas, all the austerities are performed, I will tell you that in essence, and that is Om Ityetad. There he means that Om represents all the essential truth of the Upanishads, the essential truth of Brahma Vidya. That is why in Mundakopanishad, where we started this, where we were doing the third verse, Dhanurgrihitva Upanishadam Mahastram. He started in the third verse, he says, Dhanurgrihitva Upanishadam Mahastram. Dhanuhu Grihitva Upanishadam Mahastram. And in the next verse he says, Pranavo Dhanuhu. That the Omkara is the Dhanuhu. And here he said that Dhanuhu is the bow is the Upanishadam Mahastram. That is the great weapon given by the Upanishad. So there this Pranavaha, the Om, it represents the Upanishad Vidya or the Brahma Vidya. It is a symbol of that. Even in Yoga Shastra also, in Patanjali Yoga Sutra if you go, you will find that this Pranavaha, he is saying that Pranavaha tasya vachakaha. That Pranavaha means the Omkara. Actually it is coming from Pranuyate anena iti pranavaha. Pranavaha, the word has come from pranuyate anena iti pranavaha. Pranuyate means prakrishta rupena nuyate. Nuyate means it is the stuti we do, that is the glory we speak about, the mahima, the glory we speak about. Prakrishta rupena means very well, in an apt manner. Now this pranava is speaking about it is representing it is doing the stuti in the most apt manner of the truth. That is what is meant by pranava. So actually in some cases in Tantra Shastras and other places you will find that other bija mantras are also called pranava. It is not only Om, they are also called pranava there. But generally we mean Omkara as the pranava. So Nuyate means to speak about the glory, to express the glory of something. So pranuyate anena iti pranavaha, that which speaks about the glory of whatever it is representing. So there he says that it is 1.27 of Patanjali Yoga Sutras, tasya vachakaha pranavaha, that pranavaha represents that truth or Atma. The next he says, tad japas tadartha bhavanam. Tat japaha, tad artha tadartha bhavanam, tadartha bhavanam. That means doing the japa of that pranava, which is the vachaka of the truth of the Atma. Doing the japa of that is tadartha bhavanam. This is the most important point we must realize. It is not just repeating the sound. No. Shankaracharya, wherever he has got an occasion, got an opportunity, he is repeatedly clarifying that the real japa of a mantra is not just repeating the sound, because the mantra word means mananat trayate iti mantraha. Mananat trayate iti mantraha. Manana means rumination. Manana means contemplation. So, if we do the contemplation on the Shabda, the mantra given to us, if we do the contemplation on the meaning of that, then it relieves us of all the worldliness, of all ignorance, of all suffering or whatever we may think of. Trayate means it liberates us. So the mantra will take us to its ultimate fruition, to its ultimate goal, only when we do the manana on the meaning of the mantra, lakshyartha, whatever the manana, the word, the mantra represents, the mantra given to us, whatever it represents, we have to repeatedly meditate on the meaning of it. Tad japas tadartha bhavanam is what Yoga Sutra also says. That japa of the mantra means we have to think, meditate, ruminate on the artha of that. Then what will happen? Next sutra says 1.29. The first one is 1.27. The second one, tad japas tadartha bhavanam, is 1.28. And this next one is 1.29. He says, tataha pratyak chetanadhigamopyantaraya bhavascha. If we separate it, tataha pratyak chetana. Pratyak chetana means that I in us. Parak means outward. When we go inward to discover who am I, then we discover the Atma. We call it Pratyaga Atma. Pratyak Atma. That is, in our sadhana we focus inside, inward. So it is called Pratyak. So Pratyak Chetana means the Atma. Tataha Pratyak Chetana Adhigamaha. Adhigama means it comes into our anubhava, comes into our perception. The Atma we realize. Not only that, api antaraya abhavascha. Antaraya abhavascha. That means it removes the hindrances, the badha, all the obstacles on our way to our success. So this will not happen if you go on just repeating the sound. As the mantra, I have been doing japa, you will say, I have done japa for 40 years, nothing has happened. Nothing will happen. So if only the sound we go on repeating for years even, decades also, it will not manifest its final, what it is meant to do. So this is one of the very important point we should remember, that in doing the japa of a mantra, we have to ruminate on the meaning of the mantra. And also we should remember that there should be an emotional association. Suppose meaning, I understand that it means infinitude or so. I am thinking of infinitude also. But it will not have its full power unless while thinking of infinitude, my mind becomes infinite, vast, it expands. That is the emotional part gives the power to it. So rather than repeating the sound, what we have to do is the mind should remain engrossed in the meaning, and there should be full emotional support given to that mantra chanting. Then only the mantra, the bija mantra will grow as a huge tree, it will manifest its power. Etad alambanam jnatva brahmaloke mahiyate. That is how the alambana, the refuge, the support, that we come to know what is its power and how it goes. So here in Mandukya Upanishad, as I was quoting from there, because it discusses the whole Mandukya Upanishad consists of only 12 mantras, and it is entirely on the Omkara. It is given to, because the Omkara represents the truth, it is actually with the allegory of the Omkara, it is also explaining what is the Atma, what is the Turiya, and what is the ultimate truth. In that they have divided the whole thing for our benefit. As I said earlier also, that the truth is transcendental. So we find it very difficult to go to that abstraction to attain the truth, or to visualize the truth, or to conceptualize the truth. So the Shruti, our Shastras, they take examples where we have the objective vision of, say here, we said that Omkara has got 3 matras, A, U, Ma, and they represent our wakeful state, dream state, and deep sleep state. These are only created to help us to go to that what is beyond the deep sleep state, or what is Turiya, to explain that. Actually that Turiya state, which is the consciousness, which is the Atma, that is there in all the 3 states. That is there, it is called Anusyuta. Anusyuta means it is embedded, it is amalgamated with all the 3 states. When we are wakeful also, we are knowing an external world. But that external world is actually revealed by that consciousness only. When we are dreaming, the external signals are not coming at all. So it is the whole world created in dream is our internal world. That also is revealed by the Atma, by the consciousness that is still there. And when we pass over to deep sleep state, there is no world like that, no external world of external universe or internal world of dream. Nothing is there. There is actually no objectivity at all. The consciousness is left to itself. Then we call it deep sleep or Sushupti, but the Atma is still there. It is the same Atma which is seeing all the 3 states. So we are thinking of that Atma as different from all these states. That is why they are calling it Chaturtha. It is not really a 4th like the 1st, 2nd, 3rd. 1st, 2nd, 3rd, there is fragmentation, there is division. In this 4th, the Turiya, the Atma, there is no division at all. It was there throughout. The whole thing, the whole jugglery is taking place in it. Sometimes the external world manifests in it. Sometimes the internal world of dream manifests in it. Sometimes the deep sleep state where nothing manifests, that is no consciousness, no sanya, that is no knowledge is had at that time. Only in Turiya we come to know that what is this consciousness by itself, when it reveals itself. In deep sleep, because our whole being is sleeping, we don't come to know. But in Samadhi, when the Turiya is manifest, there we come to know what is this consciousness. I have quoted from Kathopanishad, Yada panchavatishthante jnanani manasasaha buddhischana vicheshtati tamahu paramam gatim. That is when all the 5 indriyas and the mind, They are all awake, but they are not functional. And also the mind is not functional means there is no thought. Buddhischana vicheshtate means there is no effort of the buddhi to know what is the state. No askins, nothing. There is no effort of analyzing from the buddhi. So all are awake, they are not sleeping. In deep sleep, all these elements, they are all sleeping. But in this state, they are not sleeping, they are all awake, fully awake, but they are not moving, there is no function. Then the consciousness, which is now left free, it manifests itself. The consciousness manifests itself.